Dickey. I am a senior and I'm a communication major and international studies minor.
Hi, I'm Hannah Bevel. I am a senior biology major.
I'm Alana Clark, and I'm a BSE major, or BSE math major, which means education in high school level. And then I have a minor in computer science.
Hi, my name is Adriana Mugai. I'm a junior here at Millersville. I'm majoring in government and political affairs with a minor in Latino studies.
Great. Thank you guys. So I'm just going to ask everyone a question, and then I'll repeat the question every time I call someone. It won't be the same order every time, so just be prepared to go. So first question, during your time at Millersville University, how have you demonstrated leadership both on and off campus? Can you answer that?
Sure. Okay. So probably my biggest leadership role here on campus was I was an orientation leader this year. So I helped orient the students coming in, the incoming freshmen and transfer students this year. And so we took a whole week and we did some training, got to know some awesome people in our group, awesome people on campus. I really got to branch out. And then we prepared for when the students came, and then when they showed up, we basically shared our experiences and our knowledge about our campus. Most of all, we shared our love and our pride for the Millersville campus. And I really felt like I got to be a mentor for someone, so that was really a special experience. And another leadership position I have here on campus is that I'm a lab assistant, so I'm in charge of the anatomy and physiology lab in the biology department here for Dr. Pasatino. And I've really felt that I had to step up and show leadership towards students who are in this class and students who are like mentoring under me to take over that position. So I'm also in charge of a lot of live specimens, so I have to be accountable for those kind of things. And you're gonna find out I'm like obsessed with science. I love like few things more than science, so it's fitting that I'm a biology major. And the final job that I have here on campus, it's a leadership position, is I work at the ropes course. Some people are like, "You have a ropes course?" Yes, we have a ropes course. And so I do a lot of staff training for the new staff, and the lead staff specifically. And so, Toby's giving me the you're too nervous. And so finally, I'm the secretary chair of the Free Health Club. So I organize the events to do fundraising for our club. Okay, thank you.
Adriana, during your time at Millersville University, how have you demonstrated leadership both on and off campus?
Okay, so during my time here at Millersville University, I would say my biggest leadership role was being vice president of Society on Latino Affairs. In that role, I was given a lot of responsibility to fill in the gaps between the board and pick up duties that other members couldn't fulfill due to other reasons, but I was kind of the backbone. I did a lot of behind the scenes work. I was also able to interact with a lot of students and really get to share their memories here at Millersville, which is something very special to me. Because prior to that, I was a peer leader for the Latino Student Leadership Institute, and that was a weekend retreat that we went off campus to a campsite, and we met with incoming freshmen or first-year transfers. And it was really nice because we were their mentor, and we spoke about maybe the insecurities they had about coming to a new school with people they may not know, or a different environment. And it was really nice learning about their experiences prior, or the experiences they've had so far in Millersville, and reflecting on that, and learning how I can better myself and help better their experience here. Currently, I'm also a resident assistant in the East Villages. This is probably one of the biggest responsibilities I've had. I'm in charge of 80 students along with another RM before. And it's really nice to see a diverse student body within your hall. You deal with different students from different environments. They came from different schools. They interact differently with one another. And it's really nice to see how that, observe how they work well with each other. And, yeah.
Thank you. So Nicole, during your time at Millersville University, how have you demonstrated leadership both on and off of campus?
All right, so for on campus, I am a student athlete. I play tennis here. I play all 4 years, and that's been the most consistent leadership role I've had. My time at Millersville, I'm in top tier of our rank order, so a lot of the girls kind of look up to me and kind of see me as the leader, just on our team and having team spirit and sticking together and all that kind of stuff with our teamwork. So that's probably been the most consistent thing. My biggest leadership role has just been with orientation as a whole. My sophomore year, I was an orientation leader, and that was a blast, and I loved that. So I came back again my senior year, and I was the orientation student manager for this whole last year of orientation. So it started really back in December, just starting to plan just like all the hiring and the recruiting of all the new OLs. We hire all 50 orientation leaders, and then kind of summer, we just worked all summer doing parent-family orientation and transfer, and then obviously planning training and orientation for the fall students. So that was a blast. Orientation has a really big spot in my heart because I think just does a lot of really great things for orientation leaders and helping them to become leaders and helping them grow in their knowledge level, but also obviously transitioning all of those new students and transfer students and all of that in Shore University. So that's been really fun. There's a lot actually, right? Just been a lot of different organizations in my time at Millersville. I was in the Student Senate my first freshman year, and I really enjoyed that. I've worked with CSOL, the Center for Student Involvement and Leadership over there. Just different organizations. Off campus, I did an internship with the Lancaster Barnstormers my sophomore year. So that was a lot of leadership just with the community outsource and resource center, and then doing PR, all that kind of stuff. Doing a project with refugees this semester where I'm heading an entire photo documentation project with that. So that's it.
Thank you. And Alana, during the time at Millersville University, how have you demonstrated leadership both on and off of campus?
Well, to begin off, I was on 2 years, my sophomore and junior year. I absolutely loved it. My freshman year, I had the best quality, the best RA, and the transition was amazing. And I really, really wanted to do something very similar for the incoming freshmen. And I got blessed enough to actually have incoming freshmen. So I was in bar for 2 years. I loved both sets of my residents. They're so amazing, and I have so many connections with them now. So that was the first leadership role I took on. Then I joined the sorority my junior year, Delta Zeta. And after immediately being initiated, because I was a junior, I really felt that I was prepared and mature enough to step up and take a bigger leadership role. Because when you do get initiated into Delta Zeta, you have to take on the role no matter what. And so I went for an executive position. Because I'm an education major, academics holds a dear part of my heart. So I ran for academic chair, which was responsible for holding study hours and helping our sisters who were on academic probation get off academic probation and raise their GPA. So they had higher study hours that they had to monitor. We meet in town once a week to discuss what their study habits were, and we talked about where they're struggling. We did a progress report for me after 3 years. We talked about how they can improve and what they can change in their study habits. Then after that, after a semester of doing that, we had an opening in our presidency. So I was encouraged and I signed up to take on the president role. And I've been very blessed to have a great exec board to back me up. As president, like you said, same as VP, you do a lot of behind-the-scenes work. You do paperwork for nationals, since we are a national sorority. We also are just the backbone to our members. And then off campus, I am in a club, a scholarship for voice that is for high school districts. So I work with high school districts and volunteer and study help tutor kids in high school districts.
Thank you, ladies. Next question. What single event has had the greatest impact on your life, either in a positive or negative way? Starting with you, Adriana.
So, as I said previously, I was the vice president of Society on Latino Affairs. And prior to joining the board, I really didn't know where I wanted to go with my major or my career. I was kind of just taking classes, experiencing different things. But when I joined the board, I found my passion. I realized that I really wanted to work with students, and I enjoy interacting with them and being in a mentoring position where I'm able to affect other students in a positive way and relay my experience and my advice to them. I also really would like to work with the Latino community in my hometown. I'm from Philadelphia, so I really like to, that joining the board really gave me more motivation to encourage students to join and to go to college, and I really like to take that experience into my career.
It doesn't have to be music.
Mine kind of is. My junior year, really before my junior year, even through high school, I knew that wherever I went to school, I knew I wanted to study abroad. And so last fall, I went to Amsterdam and Holland to try to study abroad, and a bunch of things ended up not working out with the program, and I was forced to take a leave of absence for the semester, because it was either that or have credits at work and then transfer back. So I took the semester off, and I thought, there's no way I want to leave Europe yet, and I was falling in love with Holland, so I ended up staying, and I just solo traveled most of Europe for the next few months, and it was the most amazing and just educational in such an abstract sense that it by far was the most amazing experience in just like 3 months of my life, just because I learned so much about myself and also the world around me, and just it opened my eyes up to so many different world issues and just other people's views and educational systems throughout the world, and it just really, I guess, fostered a new passion within me, because I just thought I want to be doing something that involves this with my life, because it's still like this continual passion that I just think it's really cool to understand other people and see things and understand things that are different from what you've been raised with and what you've grown up with, and it just really makes you appreciate your own opportunities and what you have. So I definitely think that was a huge turning point in my life, just because I realized how much I enjoy that, but also how much ability I then have to change, and how I want to go into the world and make a difference and have other people in some way get that same learning opportunity, because I think that's crucial, and everyone kind of understanding each other and just making the world a better place in that sense, because and it's just really important to understand other people and cultures, and so I think that kind of led me into the direction of where I want to take. That path isn't super clear yet, but I think that's my ultimate goal. So get that done. So.
Thank you. Alana, what single event has had the greatest impact on your life, either in a positive or negative way?
The single event that has probably had the biggest impact on my life is coming to Millersville. I live right next to Williamsburg University, which is very similar to Millersville, and it's not kind of Millersville, so very different. I'm 15 minutes away, so I had a choice to go there and stay home and commute, but I decided to come to Millersville, which was a really big difference for me. I got to grow up as a person, I got to grow into what I am today, being involved in all the clubs that I've been involved with, I've really matured, and have learned to accept overall the differences that they have. The small town I come from is kind of rural. I wouldn't consider it really rural, but it is a little bit. And so coming here, there's so many different people. You go to the left, so you go to the right, you have the city, and then people come from all over the state. So, and from out of state as well. So you get to really meet different people from different backgrounds, and you learn how to communicate and be able to realize that something we all come from economic background, and just different stories we can still meet people in.
Thank you. And Hannah, what single event has had the greatest impact on your life, either in a positive or negative way?
Okay, so single event is pretty tough, but I'm thinking, and I think that I'm going to choose, I've been a summer camp counselor for the past 3 years. You might be thinking, like, a summer camp counselor? It's kind of a loaded position. So a summer camp counselor has the duty of making sure everybody stays safe, everybody has fun, and everybody learns something. And so I work at an adventure summer camp, actually at Blue Mountain, if any of you know where that is, in Palmerton. And so we did a lot of high rope stuff, and we did a lot of hiking with like small children and stuff like that. So I had a huge responsibility to keep these kids safe, but make sure they were having fun. And so I learned how to really play those two things together, and I applied it to older age groups and even my own life, and like making sure that everything I'm doing, we're like on the edge of this is the safe zone, but we're having a ton of fun. So I've really been able to apply that into my life and the way that I interact with others. And I also had a really good experience learning the responsibilities of keeping people safe high up. And so there's a lot of communication that was involved, so I had to like perfect communication skills, make sure that the first time I said something out of my mouth was exactly the way it needed to come out. It was concise and precise and informative. So that's been really awesome. I've also really developed some team building skills, so I've learned that one of my passions is building individuals into a team setting. like see groups come together and be more cohesive by making small tweaks in like the way that they talk to each other, the way that they interact, or how they take on a puzzle.
Thank you. So next question, if you could change anything or change something about the society we live in, what would it be and why? Starting with you.
I'm going to go with the fact that I feel like a lot of people don't accept differences in personalities very well. So society, I truly believe that people aren't trying to hurt each other. And people always have the best intentions when they do something. And I realize this in like different clubs and the different organizations that we've been in and the different roles that I've had on campus. A lot of times people feel like when something happens to them that they feel like it's direct about them. But really what I truly think that happens is that people are trying to give their best and they're just not looking at all the views. So if you ever have a disagreement, for example, like the elections that's coming up, people are always trying to say like this president did this and this is why they should be voted for. But did you ever talk to them and actually see why they chose that decision? Maybe they had their intentions behind it. So I would think that if I could change something, I would change the whole entire attacking people to get ahead. I don't ever think you should attack people to get ahead and show it with their intentions behind it.
Thank you. Hannah, if you could change something about the society we live in, what would it be and why?
So I would have to go with the fact that not everybody has equal access to health care. And encompassed in that is pretty much the idea of not everybody having enough clean water or availability of food. So, I mean, if I could just change anything, I would say everybody would have equal rights to healthcare and the knowledge of healthcare. So, education, furthering the education of healthcare, and that they would also have access to clean water that some other countries have. You know, this is global. This isn't just here. It can apply at all levels, though, like local, community, state, country, things like that. And so I think that if we can start at a local level and make these small changes and work as a community and come together to like send food drives like we do here a lot. We send food and we try to teach people how to purify water or give them the resources to do it themselves or go to another country and plant food for them. Not necessarily like giving them things that we already have, but teaching them as well so that they can sustain that. And so, yeah, healthcare, food, and water.
Thank you. Adriana, if you could change something about the society we live in, what would it be and why?
Okay, so, excuse me, sorry. If I could change anything about the society we live in, it would be to eliminate discrimination. I feel that in our society, a person should be able to have success based on their merit and their accomplishments. It shouldn't be impacted by the color of their skin, their gender, their sexual orientation, or their religion. I think in a society, an ideal society would have meritocracy, where there wouldn't be barriers inhibiting someone from accomplishing something or success based on something they have no control over. They can't control the color of their skin. They can't control their gender. And I don't feel that someone should judge you for it or limit your success.
Thank you. And Nicole, if you could change something about the society we live in, what would it be and why?
Okay, so I feel very strongly on this subject. I am a huge believer in equal access and opportunity to education. I think education, and not just higher education, but just the basic form of education. So in our country, we're doing all right with that, but I think across the world and across our society as a whole, not everyone has access to that, and that's such a fundamental thing that I just think everyone should have a basic human right to have. And it's kind of just the roots of all forms of inequality. You look at economic inequality, cultural inequality, political inequality, health inequality, and it all roots back to education. And when you don't understand things, you can't progress from there. So I just feel really passionate that that's kind of the core root to all inequality. And I think that if everyone's had that basic right, that human right to a basic education, and the more the better, I think
stuff, and you're like, I don't even know how to address that. You have kids who are just like trying to pay attention. You have kids that are talking in the background, and it's just like, I know it'll come with practice, but I'm a little patient, and I'm a little bit of a perfectionist. So I really, and I also want to help my students. That's like the biggest thing. To be the perfect teacher would be the best superpower, because that's what I want to do with the rest of my life, and that's where I want to be. And I want to help my students, and I don't want it to be my fault for why they fail. I want to be able to help that person succeed. And it's not as easy as your teachers being illegal, so I think you should all go back and thank them.
Thank you. All right, Hannah, if you could have any superpower, what would it be and why?
I was trying to figure it out while she was talking, but I was so interested in what she was saying. I would say that probably I'm going to go along the same lines that you did a lot as with like my profession, and it would probably be like healing powers. And so I am more into holistic medicine, naturalistic types of things. I think that we need to move away from medicine. So even if it's just like the superpower of like using Reiki to heal someone, which is a form of like changing your energies and things like that, and or just like a helping hand, or like, you know, that warm feeling when somebody puts their hand on your back when you're having a bad day, or like a warm hug from your friend or my roommate. And so I just think that that would be one of the best superheroes or superpowers to have, is to be able to heal someone, even if it's just a small little patch, small little band-aid, is heal someone while they're feeling down or hurt or something like that. And the same thing would apply to on like a larger level, like, you know, if somebody goes into surgery to fix their knee, that'd be awesome if I could just snap my fingers and not have to go to medical school. So, yeah, that's my superpower.
Thank you. So, Nicole, if you could have any superpower, what would it be and why?
Yeah, this could be kind of cheesy, but I am very passionate about passion, and I think if you could just, you know, like, bam, and she is, I mean, she's already very loaded with passion, but I think that's like one of the most attractive things to me, and anyone is just like when they're passionate about something, and so, and I think that someone having passion really allows them to like fully chase after their dreams and believe in themselves. So I think it'd be so cool if you could just look at someone and be like, I mean, and some people have it to an extent, but I think even passion or just like a degree of having people believe in themselves, because you can see something in someone else and be like, you're so capable of so much, but they don't see it in themselves, and that's not going to do anything for them. So if you could just like do something, and that would make them just like totally confident in themselves and believe in themselves, and make them want to go like chase after their dreams and change the world, then that would be pretty cool. I would like that.
Thank you. All right, Adriana, if you could have any superpower, what would it be and why? Okay, so if I could have any superpower, it would be to fly for two reasons. One, I love to travel. I've been outside the United States twice to different countries. In the fall, I'm planning to study abroad to Spain. And traveling really gives you different experiences than nothing else can. You get to learn about different cultures, meet different people, experience new societies and environment, which I think is very important to be a well-rounded person. My second would be, if you had the ability to fly, you have a different perspective. You're able to look in, take yourself out of a situation, and go into that situation, and reevaluate your opinion on it. And I think that would be an amazing part of it, to kind of just be able to remove yourself, take a step back, and look in.
Thank you, ladies. So the next question, kind of tricky about written down. How is Crown as a homecoming king or queen reflective or not reflective of your college campus culture? In other words, how does or doesn't it align with what our college is doing or our college mission? So I'll start with you. Yes. So how does Crown as a homecoming king or queen, well, more so represent or not represent our college campus culture or our missions on the college campus?
So like, what's the meaning behind?
Yeah, like how does it align with something like diversity, for example, or anything like that the college tries to promote for our students?
Well, I think, you know, Millersville especially, but really all schools kind of look to have this well-rounded individual represent their school. So someone that's excels academically and takes that seriously and realizes that's a priority of why they're here, but also has leadership positions and is involved with our school, but with also like in the surrounding communities. Just someone that's passionate about the university and passionate be here and they can be here and all that kind of stuff. So I think there's someone really that is kind of representative of all those things and really gives that representation. And if you had to sum up Millersville into one person, you'd want someone to have kind of all those things. So is that what you're looking for? Okay, yeah.
Okay. So, Adriana, how does Crown the Homecoming Care Queen represent or not represent our college campus culture?
I think it's very representative. We give these students the opportunity to nominate any student they like, and we can nominate multiple students. You don't have to choose between one. Also, the process in which we go about choosing homecoming queen and homecoming king. It's not a popularity contest. You know, we do the panel. There's an essay that you have to enter, and I think that's different. It's progressive because in a lot of universities we see that there's voting, and they may choose a person because they know their face or their name, but they don't know their personality. So when we do panels and when we do essays, we give students the opportunity to really know our personality and our goals in life and our mission and why we're here at Millersville and what we're passionate about Millersville. It really encompasses the community aspect that Millersville holds so deeply in their institution. So I would say it really does. Our institution is
Thank you. Hannah, so how does Crown the Homecoming King or Queen represent or not represent our college campus culture?
So I think that crowning king or queen for our university is the same meaning that it holds for me. So being crowned king or queen is representing the fact that you have so much passion and so much excitement and so much like love for your school that you are willing to go out in front of other people and say, I love Millersville, and if I could represent it and you would let me, I would be honored. And so I think that it's a situation where people get the opportunity to really show the fact that they've taken steps to be leaders on this campus because they feel passionate about how the morals and the way that Millersville runs, and they agree with a lot of the things that Millersville does. And I think that the person who gets king or queen or on court or even just somebody walking around campus, you know, that loves Millersville will go to a job interview someday and say, yeah, I love my school, and the person that represented it is just encompassing all the things that I loved about that school. And so a lot like what the other girl said, I think that it's an honor for that person and it's an honor for the school.
Thank you. And Alana, how does Crown the Homecoming King or Queen represent or not represent our college campus culture?
Okay, so I don't think it's a black or white. I'm going to go a little bit straight here. So I'm going to pull a little bit from what everybody else says, but totally agree with what they said. I think you're trying to hit everyone on the head when she said that it really is a popularity contest. You have to get nominated, you have to do an essay, you have to be on this panel and answer questions. It's definitely something that you could probably do your life after Millersville or even during Millersville. I agree with what Nicole said when she said that it's something that it's people who are on courts obviously are represented all over campus in so many different organizations and are almost people that are aspiring, I would say. I agree with what Hannah said when she said that it's people who love Millersville, who are just in love with this place and the people who are fulfilling. But I want to say that in all those ways that it does represent our student body, there's one way that it doesn't. I'm one person, and we're all one person. And there's no way that we can truly represent everybody on this campus because we are one person, one story, one background, a few organizations. But how many organizations are on this campus? How many people come from different backgrounds? And how many people have different stories? So in a way, it's both. But I'm going to play devil's advocate and say it's gray. It's not white, it's not black.
Thank you. So, next question. What does alcohol awareness mean to you? Since it's alcohol awareness week, what other ways can we as a college campus contribute to spreading alcohol awareness?
Okay, so we did so many presentations on this during orientation leader training, and so we were so educated going into orientation week, and we even had a special time set aside that we sat with our students and talked about alcohol awareness and what preconceived ideas they had coming in, and what and how we could fix that as a group, and the safe strategies we could use if they do take if they do Even having Alcohol Awareness Week during Homecoming Week, is a big statement. It says we're not going to deny the fact that people do it. We admit to it. We know it, and we're just going to try to teach you safe strategies. We also have peer educators who do a lot of those a lot of the different organizational presentations of the same thing, and invite people in, and we give free stuff away to encourage people to answer things. And even somebody was passing out bottle caps today to help educate you, and you have to answer a question to get a bottle cap. So I think that the biggest way that we take initiative is we do education. But there's always room for improvement, and I think that we have a growing student body who is always looking for those improvements and ways that we can do that. So yeah, I think we're doing a great job.
Thank you. Adriana, what does alcohol awareness mean to you? What other ways can we as a college campus contribute to spreading alcohol awareness?
Well, I think alcohol awareness is very important. We are a college campus, and we are adults, and we have students who are 21 and over. And when I was in RA, we did an alcohol awareness meeting where we brought in peer educators and spoke on the different options and kind of preventative measures to take to prevent a situation from happening. But if it does happen, what you can do and what resources we have on campus to assist you with any issues you may have. But it's just really important, like she said, that it's going to happen. We are a college campus. We have our freedom here away from home. We're not living with our parents anymore, and we are able to make decisions for ourselves. But it's very important to also educate them about what they can do, how to be safe, what happens if something dangerous happens, how to address it, who to call. And I think it's also important that within our community that we allow students to confide in us if something were to happen. And I think that's something we can build upon and really advocate the different resources they have.
Thank you. Alana, what does alcohol awareness mean to you, and what other ways can we as a college campus contribute to spreading alcohol awareness?
So alcohol awareness probably, well, to me, it means everything that Millersville has done. I think definitely, Millersville, I think, does an excellent job in the administration and the big programs that we put on, peer educators, they have alcohol awareness programs. As we said, RAs are required for 6 weeks to go a program with alcohol awareness. All of Greek Life is responsible for attending a member conference where alcohol awareness is a topic. I think Millersville overall does a really great job at making sure that their students are educated in the effects of alcohol and what can happen and how you can get help and how you can improve upon your alcohol habits if you do choose to partake in it. What I think needs to improve though is more of a student body thing that needs to improve. I think Millersville has done a great job of educating us, but it comes down to us believing what they are educating us in and supporting each other and saying, hey, if you're going out, you need a ride, doesn't matter if it's 3 a.m. in the morning, doesn't matter if it's 5 a.m. in the morning, don't get in that car, call me and I'll answer it and I'll come get you. And just supporting each other and really saying, like, there's no reason to ever drink and drive. There's no reason to ever sit your cup down. Always carry it and just supporting each other and saying, hey, like, don't sit that. Let's go for a walk, or let's do something, or just really building upon each other and not just the education that Millersville has given us.
Thank you. And Nicole, what does alcohol awareness mean to you? What other ways can we as a college campus contribute to spreading alcohol awareness?
I think something that I really pride Millersville with is that the fact that just simply we talk about it, because I think a lot of schools and universities, but also just our society in general, just really kind of just wants to shut it down. Any risque topic like that, it's like, oh, don't talk about it. So the fact that we do talk about it and we say, like someone, I think it's said, we're not denying it, we're saying, okay, yes, so there are people that are choosing to do that, there's people that aren't. So here's alternatives either way, here are safe options, and just trying to make it not such this like horrible thing to do, because I think if you do that, people then want to, well, they're not going to do it anyway. So I think the fact that we talk about it, and then we go from there and educate people on it, and we have all these programs, and we, try to help people and say, hey, if you are going to do this, these are safe measures that you should be taking. And I think as for how to continue that and do that, I think that's the right path to be on. how it's affecting them, ways they can be safe, is all headed in the right direction.
Okay, thank you, ladies. So that's it for our questions, but I would like to open it up for the judges to see if they have any questions for you guys.
No, I don't know. This time too.
Yeah.
That's all.
Hello, ladies. As you know, this is a superhero theme, and I consider mentors a superhero. I'd like for you to talk to us a little bit about a superhero in your life and how they contributed to the decision you made to attend college or guide you through the career path you chose.
Does it matter what order?
We'll start from the goal or down.
Does it have to be one person? Can it be like, okay, well, my first one, and this is, again, I'm choosy, I'm sorry. But it's probably my mom. My mom is my very absolute best friend in my entire life, and she's just been very instrumental. My whole family has been, but she's been just really instrumental in allowing me kind of room to grow and explore and just not being like, hey, you need to choose this, and you need to be on this path and do this, and, you know, supporting me with any decision that I choose and ups and downs and all of that, just kind of always being that backbone, but letting me have just enough room to kind of figure it out for my own, and supporting me and saying, you know, college is a great thing, and I think that's something you should be doing, but if that's not the path for you, it's not, but we'll help you to be here either way. So she's just always been, I think, the person I've confided in the most about that stuff, and so I've received a lot of mentorship from her in that way. But part of your question, you know, how you said, I guess, why you want to go to school. And one of the another really influential moment in my life, so I went to the Philippines last May and worked with a bunch of girls who were recently rescued out of human trafficking. And at that point, I'd already been in school, and I valued education, and I thought, you know, this is great, but that was such a huge day, and it wasn't necessarily a mentor, but in a way it really was for me, because just talking to them and hearing them, you know, tell me, because at that point I was like, do I want to be my major? What am I doing with my life? I don't really know. And I mean, they were saying, what are your dreams? What are your passions? What do you want to do? This is what I want to do, this. And I just thought, oh my gosh, how lucky and amazing is it that I live in a place that I have such opportunity on a daily basis. And that was such a pivotal day. And again, not like a specific mentor, but it really was a mentoring type thing, because it just really encouraged me to take full advantage of every opportunity I have in Millersville, but also just in life, and like really spearing things out of me. So yeah.
Thank you. Okay, so there's so many people who I can call my mentor. I consider my friends a mentor. I consider my family mentors. But I would say that this semester, the person who has been the biggest mentor in my life is my research professor. So I'm doing research in biology this semester. I'm looking at how antibiotics affect the gut flora of caterpillars. Sorry, I knew I'd get sciencey. So I have a professor who I had one class with before, and I had gone to him last semester, and I said, hey, I'm really interested in research, and I really thought you were a great teacher, and so would it be okay if I joined your lab next semester? And he said, yeah, sure, that's great. I like you as a student. Come on in. So I came in, and it's totally changed my entire outlook on research. I used to think research was something where you'd like sit in a cubicle and like be by yourself and research one little tiny thing, but he's showed me that like you're a family in your lab and you have to think critically, and you know, he wants us to think on our own, and so if I go and I ask him a question, he's like prompting me to really critically analyze it on my own and come up with the answer by myself. And so he's done a really great job of like not just giving me the answers to things, but making me find them and make me understand them more completely. And he's also shown me like what it means to be a teacher. So maybe I want to teach at medical school someday because of him, something like that, you know. So he's like showing me the passion that he has for teaching students about his passion in science.
For me, I like everyone said, there's a lot of mentors in your life. There's a lot of superheroes who have affected your life. But for me, the superhero who truly made me want to go to college was definitely for my father. Let you know a little secret how I love education on spring. When I was younger, my dad would buy me every Christmas the Jumpstart games. He would buy me your heads up. I was
say my hero or mentor would be my father as well. During his lifetime, he grew up with a single mother, and he didn't know what he was going to do until he got into college and really appreciated education and eventually went on to law school. But one thing I really admire about him is his ability to advocate for others and really stand up for those who don't have a voice and understand their experiences. And that's something I would like to do with my career. I really want to get into activism and take the law school route and be able to work with those who are less privileged who may not be able to afford a lawyer or even defend themselves. So I really admire his ability to do that.
We have time for one
Don't be shy.
There's no questions in that sentence. Okay.
Thank you.
Well, I would like to thank you to everyone. Thank you for the court members. You guys did awesome. Thank you to our judges again for MUTV for coming out and recording this event. And I also would like to thank all of you for attending and watching, support, answer questions, and being supportive of each individual. So yes, come out tomorrow for the homecoming halftime show. We'll find out who wins homecoming.